Go, 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 go. What up, guys? What's going on? We back with another one. What's cracking? Uh, a lot has gone on in the past few months. So we're gonna talk about that for a second, and then I'm gonna show y'all what this is and what we're doing. The Type S swap that was supposed to go in that's no longer happening. That white Acura that I bought, the motor ended up being bad from the moment I bought it. So I had to take the motor out of the red Type S and do the swap. So the motor to the white car is now right there. So this motor is going to end up getting pulled, sent to the machine shop, re-honed, bored over, and then honed. We're going to take all the parts out of the 3.5, put it in the 3.2 with the 3.5 heads and the piston slap. After I get a new oil pump, the piston slap should be no more in this car. So that's a plus. What else? The 350Z. I ended up putting a Rocket Bunny carbon fiber spoiler on it. I don't know if I have a video, but if I do, I'll put it in somewhere in here. 350Z is gone. It was a good car. You know, we had our issues with it. You know, the transmission, the third gear in the transmission grinding all the time. We had the cam sensors fail, and the crankshaft sensor fail. So, you know, the normal shit that should have been taken care of. We got the stock wheels for it. We got them put on. The car looked okay. Looked better than it did with the chrome bullshits on it. And then life. So then we got rid of it. That's what happened. We ended up getting rid of it. Ended up getting rid of it because everyone around me could tell that I wasn't happy with that car. Yes, I did want a Z. No, I did not want a Z33. I wanted a 32 really bad. The one with the back seat, just because I have a kid. So I posted up on Marketplace for $9,000 with the turbo kit. And I was still trying to think about what I was going to do. I was going to get a Mercedes and do some AMG things with it. And then I was like, man, I really want to get back into an old school. So I started looking. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I started looking, you know, maybe a Cutlass, maybe a GTO, something. Maybe like one of my first cars, it was a 84 Monte Carlo SS with the stripes, you know. Maybe I'll find something to like. So I had it posted for probably a month, and no one, you know, hit me up with good offers. Like I offered Miatas, old street bikes, like 2002s, 96s, and I'm not into that shit no more. So one night I was messaging a guy, and I was supposed to meet up and go get a Cutlass with my dude Ryan Gwinner, and the dude just kept playing games, excuse after excuse. It's 10 o'clock, we're loading up the trailer on the truck, and this guy's still playing games. So we load up the Z because I had hit up another guy about another car, and the guy was like, you know, I got a couple people ahead of you, but if they flake, I'll hit you up. I said, okay, well, I'm going to look at a Cutlass, so if I don't trade for the Cutlass, I'll hit you up. Long story short, the guy with the Cutlass, he was a fucking idiot. And I mean that with all disrespect. The dude was stupid. I was going to trade him my Z that ran and drove every day, that I drove from my home to Columbus, Pataskala, Cincinnati, like the lower fucking parts of Ohio. And I'm central, so it's like an hour, 2 hours every day. And it was just excuse after excuse. So we waited for the other guy. The other guy hit us up probably 10 minutes after we loaded up the Z. Hey, I'll meet you anywhere you want to meet. He drove this car from West Virginia, 2 hours in West Virginia, to meet us 3 hours away, 4 hours away, like something like that. But basically we met in the middle. Well, they drove a little further. And I saw this car pull up and I was like, it looks good, for what it is, what we're getting ready to do to it. It looks great. It's a good car. So with that being said, he test drove the Z. You could tell he was very rusty in the stick shift era. And I was cool, whatever. If you burn up the clutch that I just put in, I'm just going to put another one in. Fine. I drove this, a little bit of sway, but she moved. She moved the way she was supposed to. So I was like, I drove all this way. It's up to you. At the end of the day, I'm okay with taking my car home because it is a $10,000 to $15,000 car to the right person. But he kept, back and forth. And he was like, you know what? I didn't drive all this way for nothing. We traded. Loaded up the fucking car. Homebound we went. We almost lost the car, the trailer, and the truck because we almost ate the back of a semi. Semi slammed on his brakes. Car behind the semi slammed on his brakes. And I was just dumbfounded. Luckily, we swerved toward the median, locked the brakes up on the truck. The trailer started to slide. I let off. I hit the brakes again, slid right past the truck. No accidents. Car still in the trailer. Stopped, checked the straps, every one of them undone. So luckily the trans held the car. Held the car the way it was supposed to. Got it back home, offloaded it, punched the gas, it died. Timing moved. So had to readjust it, go off ear. How we were raised to do, go off ear, if you ain't got no time and light. Motherfucker start pinging, turn it back a little bit. Add a little more fuel, add a little less. We got it done. We got the crow's foot tightened down. It's been trial and error with this thing. Like, what will it do? What will it not? This car is a lot of fun. I've already put a floor shifter in it, B&M floor shifter. It's already had gauges in it. I ended up taking the wheels that I had on it when I got the car off. I just sold them yesterday so I could buy some radials. I have one skinny for the front. Coming in tomorrow. Then I gotta wait and order the other one probably at the end of this week or the week after, depending on how my shit look. But this car is solid. It does need body work. When I say body work, I mean paint. Ain't no rot, no bullshit. Like, they put Bondo on it for no reason. We already figured it out. So I'm gonna turn the camera around, show you guys. I know there's a lot of talking, just bear with me, I'm sorry. And I'll explain what the car is, what the plan is, and what we're just gonna do. We're gonna have fun. All right, YouTube. This is a 1985 Pontiac Grand Prix. I don't think this is anything more than just a regular Pontiac Grand Prix. I don't believe it's an LJ. I'm not sure on the specifics of it. I don't know. But what I do know is when I was a kid, my sister had one of these that my other sister snaked her out of. It had Dayton's on it, just like these. And I found these in Columbus a couple weeks ago. Had my my homeboy, Jose, grab these for me while I was at work. Left work, went to his house, picked them up. They were black, they were nasty. I had to strip all the paint off of them with paint stripper right here in my garage. It's got a 350 4-bolt main. It's got a built rear end. It is a 7.5 rear end, unfortunately, but we're gonna make this 10-bolt work for a little bit. I was told it had a 350 turbo trans that was built. I don't know how true that is, but what I can tell you is, for what this car is, it's already chased down a 2014 Hemi Charger, which, I mean, that's not impressive, but for this car, it's impressive. Being carbureted too. I put the B&M shifter in it. I can't remember which one. I think this is the Hammer. Yeah, B&M Hammer shifter in it. It came with the wood grain wheel. I put a tack in it because the speedometer was all wacky, but the speedometer actually quit working when I chased down the Charger. It's on air shocks in the rear. Like I said, the body, honestly, is pretty straight. Like, there's just scratches here, and instead of them, using like a paint marker to fix it, they just sprayed it with primer everywhere. Everybody keeps telling me, clean the patina, re-clear coat the patina. That way it's a shiny patina, and then do what I'm gonna do. See, I was doing burnouts on that shit on the 20s. Shouldn't be doing it, but it's fun. It's just fun having this car. But see, like, that's surface. Like, it almost looks like somebody was trying to do it on purpose to make like a patinaed car, which that kind of sucks because I really love the paint on this Pontiac blue. But like I said, I mean, it's not a bad car. I was a little sketched because I've never dealt with a West Virginia title, not being notarized, like they have a watermark. I have a homegirl up at the BMV. She took care of it for me. This car, supposedly, from the dash and all the paperwork, has 34,000 miles on it and sat in West Virginia its whole life. Literally just sat. I have a couple books on it with all the information in it. And it's a really good car. Dude ended up throwing in a little speaker box or whatever to try to equalize the trade. I mean, it was a 350Z. There's really no equalization of a trade when the car, looks like this. But this car is, to me, it's a beautiful car. It works good. I crank it up right now. It'll take me anywhere I want to go. Now, right here, I have two Mickey Thompson, and I believe these are 29 9.5s on, I believe, an 8 wide, maybe a 9. I'm not sure. I'm going to check it when I get my other wheels in, my radials that I'm waiting on. On the table, this right here is an LS. Well, I believe it's called an LQ4 or a LY something, I don't know. It's out of a 2001 2500 HD. It's a 6.0, but this motor does not match that truck because those heads right there have a junkyard mark, like they marked it at the junkyard. So I know this motor did not go in that truck. It's got a lot of the rusted steel and shit around it, so I got some rust dissolver in it. Check the cam bearings, they're wiped. I mean, that cam, it could be fixed and ran again in something else, not this. It's wiped, in my opinion. So what we're doing is, I got a sloppy stage 2 cam in the house. I have 600 lift valve springs that we're going to do. I have to get new lifters because some of those are stuck, which is really weird, but they're stuck. Either that or I just don't know what I'm doing, but it's nevertheless. We're going to replace all the cam bearings, all the main bearings, all the rod bearings. We're going to torque everything back to spec. We're going to rotate it, make sure everything's cool after I ball hone it. This motor's going to be completely refreshed pretty much. And then we're going to take the transmission apart, this 350 turbo. We're going to take transmission out, drain it, let it drain overnight. And we're going to end up pulling the pan off and pulling the clutch packs out and putting a trans brake in here. It's going to be the first one I've ever done, so hopefully I don't fuck it up. And those are going on with the radial. We're going to try a radial first, probably break the rear end. And we're going to put skinnies on the front, some 15x4s, because the car came with 8 squared on it with 255/60 15s. And when it came down in the front, it would always scrape. I do have a bad shock over there that we're going to address shortly. And then I'm going to check on things underneath the rear end. Over there on that side, that frame rail has split. But it is not like rotted and gone. It's still intact. It's still holding on strong. We're going to plate it. Well, we're going to clean all the rust off. We're going to squeeze it back together. I'm going to weld it. I'm going to treat it. And then I'm going to plate that bitch. We're going to make it as strong as we can. This one is perfect. Like it never seen water. That side looked like something was leaking. You know what I'm saying? Down from like a ceiling into a puddle, and that end of the car sat in a puddle. So other than that, I mean, it's a pretty good car. You know, it's dope. I mean, I took the seats out. I got all my trash in it right now because I drove to work for a couple days. But I took the back seats out, cleaned them. This car smelled like straight mouse piss. But it's pretty straight. Barely had to push it. Door pops open or closes. Heavy doors. I always yell at everybody about slamming them. Like I said, 350 turbo, trans, 354 bolt main. This is out of a 73, either Camaro or truck or something like that. It, like the casting numbers, that's what it came out to. But it's got aftermarket valve covers. I've already checked the valve train. It's stock inside, stock manifolds. It has Edelbrock carburetor, Edelbrock intake. It actually has this 90s, late 80s, early 90s serpentine belt setup, which I love because the little, V-belt, that shit's garbage. Someone ordered this and put this here because this car did not come with a 350 from the factory, I don't think. I mean, I ain't no professional on it, but what I do know is a couple Pontiacs I've seen before, the distributors in the front, which is really weird. I don't remember them doing that. I thought that was a Ford thing. It's always in back there. These were like 307s, 305s, the small 302s, had the HO. And when I got the car, it also had ARP studs in the rear. The rear lug studs were like 4 inches long. But I had to end up cutting them down just to try and put the Daytons on it. And honestly, I put the Daytons on it just as a, I built a car that my sister had, basically. And that's pretty much it. So you can see how this one's sagging. This shock has failed all the way. It's failed. And that's why it's sloping, because if you come over here, it's higher. It's fine. And there's some push over here. Hear it? So we're going to change all that shit and get it done right, and we're going to drag race it. I mean, that's what we're going to do. That's why I wanted the car. That's what we're going to do. We're going to drag race the shit out of it. To the main car of the channel. I kept running into issues with the rear end. Everybody likes how the wheels tuck, and that's cool. That's not what I wanted. I don't want that much camber in the back. I'm not against camber by any means, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to set the fenders in the lip, like right behind it. Problem is, the car, no matter what, it keeps coming down further and further and further, and I don't know if it's the bags I got on it or if something else is failing, but what I do know is I was just put on to, it's a cup, right? So it's like a lift block for a CRV. I'm gonna put that on top of my air strut. It's like a 2-inch block, 2.5. I'm gonna put it on my air strut. I'm gonna bolt it up, and we're gonna see if we can bottom out the strut, and then I can pull the hat up a little bit, because I have 4 threads on both sides before this car does something stupid and I crash, and that's it. It's done. Right now we've got a failed pump. We have a failed battery. When I drove this car the other day, now the battery's failed. Nothing was left on. I jumped it with this car yesterday, let it run 10 minutes. It will not run. Well, it ran, but when you shut it off and turn it on, it's dead. So the battery, being brand new, flatlined. So I'm going to put an Optima battery in it, which is like $400, 1,000 cold cranking amps, and I'm going to replace both fucking pumps. We're gonna try it again. I need to finish the body work. I've been saying it for months. It's getting ready to get done. I just got to get a couple other things out the way. I'm ordering parts for this when I should be doing work to this. It's a headache. I still have to take the dash out of the car, put that dash in the car, wire up the paddle shifters and all that. I did get the gauge cluster in. I don't know if I posted that already on the channel. But if I did, cool. If I didn't, I'll put it in later. We're still on the 18 by 11s on both sides. She's tucking real fucking hard. She looks good in that fitment, but she doesn't roll in that fitment. She doesn't like it. She can, but it fucks up the wheels. The front is coming down lower. That's what I want. I'm gonna bring the front down to sit right in the lips when it's parked. And that's with me giving it all the camber in the front that it can take on the stock ball joints. If I need to go more, I will, but if I don't, I'm not gonna. I have the side skirt off right now because I have to do some body work right there. There was some shit gone. I rebuilt the rear end where the big old fucking tape spot was. Actually, I'll show that to you now. So as you can see, up. The car did sit outside for a couple of days and got surface rust, but it's fine. And as you can see, I rebuilt that little corner right there at the bottom. I do need to do some fiberglass work and it will be done. Like, wipe this down with the flap wheel, make it real smooth, and start fiberglassing it. That's the plan. I want this car done. I need this car done. This is my favorite car out of everything I own. It doesn't seem like it right now because all the shit that's going on. 2022, I hope is better for us, because this shit is not it. And like I said, guys, I'm sorry that this is basically a talking video. I don't mean to talk everybody's ear off. I appreciate everyone who watches it, whether you're a hater, a homie, a buster, I don't give a fuck. You know, any kind of publicity is good publicity, even if it's bad. So the baby's gonna get done sooner than you think. We have shows in spring. I'm taking it to Slam Enough. I'm taking it to Riverside. This bitch is going, no matter what. I don't care how many engines I have to buy. This car, I'm gonna try to get ready for the first of the drag season. If I cannot get that LS going, I will spray that 350 down with nitrous, 150 shot. I don't care. It's gonna go. It's gonna go where it's gonna blow. And if it blows, that's fine. I'll pull it back in the garage and I'll leave it until I'm ready to fix it. That's the plan. That's the direction of the channel. So like I said, 1985 Pontiac Grand Prix, 2004 A-Spec TL with Type S upgrades. I didn't try to make it a Type S, but it has upgrades from a Type S. So it is what it is. With that being said, guys, I'm up out of here. About to go grab something to drink and get ready for work in the morning. Peace.